Hello farmers and welcome back to New Hope on Farming Simulator 25. Sam was just taking a nap and that's what I feel like I should be doing right about now, taking a nap. But Sam got up and is now walking around, so maybe I should be getting up and walking around. Yeah, back on New Hope, where the horses are, of course. They're over here just wandering around, if you will. We are in the month of June, and I think where I left off, I think the first thing we're going to be doing today is cutting some meadow grass, making some silage bales, so in 3 months I can sell those and bring a little bit more cash in. The farm is doing pretty well. I was just running around because the game had an update today. So I was running around the map, getting all the shaders loaded in. So if you do see the map stutter here or there once in a while, it's because, yeah, the game had an update, so some shaders are loading in. But I think I got most of them all taken care of. This field over here, this is the poppy field. We'll have to go ahead and take care of some weeds next month, I do believe. Actually, funny thing is, it doesn't say weeds are growing. It says it needs lime, which we know it doesn't. Needs rolling. My fields always need rolling. But I should have weeds in it. I didn't plow the field. Well, we'll see what happens anyways. We'll see what happens. Hello, Crystal. Hello, John. Hope you guys are having a good Tuesday. I do have actually... Wait, I think we got weeds over here. Oh, I probably do have weeds over here. Do I have a See and Spot weed sprayer on this series? I don't think so. I think that's on Chamburgo is where I have the See and Spot weed sprayer. Yeah, here I got weeds. I think we'll take care of the weeds here because I don't see where it says in the other field that we got weeds growing. So we'll take care of them this month. I was going to wait another month. Lease the sprayer then, but might as well go ahead and take care of it, I guess, in the month of June. Yeah, we're pretty much all set up to get the meadow grass cut, so we'll start off with that. Probably be a good start. And why is my wheel not turned on? All right, we'll get that up and going. Unfold the mowers. Lower them down. Turn them on. Should already be on windrowing, which it is. Alright, that's good enough. And now we'll get the Ford behind us with our baler. Oh, silage additive. I should go throw some of that in. That'll add 5% to our yield. Should have done that last time as well. For what little the silage additive costs, we'll toss it on in there. Also, we should get to harvesting today. I mean, we should. If I don't, then it's a very short stream. But yeah, we should get to harvesting in this stream today. Because we don't really have that whole bunch to take care of from month to month. Once the fields are pretty much all set, it's like, well, move on. The horses are pretty much taking care of themselves. I mean, yeah, we are feeding them, giving them what they need, but they're hardly going through any of that material. So it lasts quite a long time. The only productions we got are the greenhouses, and that's pretty easy to take care of. Filled up with grass. No. I know I can fill this up with silage additive. Oh, is the tank in the back of the baler? Maybe that's it. Silage additive. There we go. Well, $144 for silage additive. That seems rather cheap. We'll definitely get our money back on that by getting the 5% on the grass. Let's go ahead and unfold this on the way over. So the field to our right, I do believe that is rye that we planted there. The field that has the weeds in it is corn. We are taking the corn and putting it into a corn dryer. Helps us get a little bit more of a bonus when selling. Maybe I'm not getting weeds in the poppy field. Maybe the poppy is kind of considered like a grass. So maybe that's why we're not getting weeds there. Not sure. Alright, baler is on. And we'll get one of the Franks to follow behind us. Francesca looks like she's in charge of doing the baling today. So again, just some meadow grass just to get some added money in about 3 months' time. The farm is doing okay-ish on the money. Again, on this series, I'm trying to pace myself a little bit slower on bringing in the cash, which does sound kind of weird. It's like, well, don't you want to bring in the money to go ahead and expand and buy stuff? Yes, but also I don't want to be going too fast as to where by year number 5, it's, you know, we're done. Because we got so much money, I can't spend it fast enough. So just trying to pace ourselves at a good rate. Speaking of a good rate, looks like that Ford is going at a good rate at doing the baling. Oh, that's right. I don't own all this over here. I keep thinking just go along the property boundary and we're all set. No, that's not the case. Not the case. We don't own right up to the forest land. So originally I left this meadow grass here. The reason why I have not put a field here, I just kept it here so I could make hay bales for the horses. I cut the meadow grass once and we still got tons of hay bales. So we're in year number 3. The horses are just not going through the hay. They're not really going through the oats as well. So, which is a good thing. Another good thing is the horses, their value is getting up pretty good. We are running the mod that allows us to get more money from the horses. And right now their value is over 10 grand. And their value is still going on up. I don't hear the Ford behind me going through the gears, so I just gotta be careful I don't get too far ahead of the worker. Oh, she's not far behind. She's doing fine. Oh, and I forgot to change the size of the bales. All right, whatever. They are 240s, but I do have the selectable bale mod that allows me to make the bales more capacity. I always want to say make them bigger, but they're not actually, the size of the bales aren't visually bigger, but the amount per bale would be bigger. So I think last time it took me 2 trips to sell the bales. Wouldn't mind getting it done in 1 trip. Also today we'll be keeping our eye on our oak trees that we planted last time. They should have, when did I plant them? In March? So I'm thinking some point today, as we zip on through the months, we might see the oak trees hit the first growth stage. I did read the patch notes for the update today just to see, you know, if they fixed any issues that we're aware of. And nothing in the patch notes showed me that they fixed anything that would be noticeable to me. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see any update on... Because I think last time we were doing the harvesting and I had the glitch again where the grain was not showing up in the harvester. So I don't know. Maybe it is a mod causing that problem to happen. I know a long time ago Giants said they were aware of the issue, and I never heard the outcome. Maybe they found out it was a mod causing the problem. I think someone suggested it might be Omatana's silos causing the problem. Not sure. Also had a good look since last time we streamed New Hope. I had a look at some of the video that came out from FarmCon about the November DLC they'll be coming out on the fish and the onions and all that kind of stuff. Onions do seem to be just like the other vegetables as to where, yeah, it's going to require a lot of work to harvest them unless you're using a modded harvester, which I'm sure the root crop harvester that we have used in the past, I'm pretty sure someone, well, I forgot who made that mod, but I'm pretty sure they'll update it to where that harvester probably has an onion header to where we can harvest onions in that and just pick them right up off the field. I did see, though, that you can put the onions in a production building. It's not going into the preserved food production, but it will be going into its own production where it'll be bagged onions, I do believe. And also for the fish, if you want to call it the fish hatchery mod or production, that'll be coming out in the November update. It does look rather interesting. The only problem I see is, yes, you got to put one of the productions out in water. So, and it's a pretty big production. So, like a map like this, I would not be able to use the mod to its full capability because we don't really have any water here to put down a production for the larger fish. So you have like the production for making the small fish, then you have to bring them down, put them on the boat, then bring the boat out to another production to where the fish then grow into large fish. So a map like this, I could probably put down the initial part of the production. But as for the larger fish, that could be a problem. And I also got reminded of Riverbend Springs. If you remember on Riverbend Springs, what looked like to be a fish hatchery right in the middle of the map. And I'm wondering, I was kind of hoping that maybe that would be in the update when I saw things about fish. But I got a funny feeling for what they did, that part of Riverbend Springs is still going to be non-usable. So the bales are starting to pile up here. We do have our wrapper, so we own all the equipment to make silage bales. And the last time we did this, when we sold the silage off this field, we got about $25,000 worth. So the grass is just here. I don't really need it for anything now, so I might as well mow it on up, bale it, wrap it, and we'll sell it in September? Yeah, September seems about right. A few more passes and we can get on to the wrapping, which won't take too long because the wrapper wraps pretty darn fast. Then we'll get on to taking care of the weeds in the cornfield. All right. Turn off the mowers. Let them lift up. And then fold on up. And Francesca will eventually get the swaths baled up. All right, let's get this stuff put away here. backing up with this butterfly mower. I gotta be careful because this thing whips around so quick. A slight turn and the mower is already like, yep, go in that direction already. And here comes Francesca with the baler. Alright, turn off the baler, let that spit out the bales. I think I'll leave the rest of the grass in there. It's only 800 liters, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Hello, David. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. And the baler, I guess I'll just put in here. I'm not sure if I'm going to be getting straw this year or not. I have no idea if the rye produces straw or not. Alright, let's wrap these babies up. So last time I leased this bale wrapper, and then about a month later, or a month and a half later, came up for sale. So we bought it used. So now we're just making white marshmallows. Oh, I forgot to download the smaller horse stables because, like I said, at some point our horses are going to reach their max value, and if they're awfully close to having offspring, well, the problem that I have is I have no space in the stable. I mean, I suppose what I could do, even if it works the way I hope it works, I may have to sell like one horse. So we got 2 sets of 8, if you will, for a total of 16 for a max stable. I suppose I could sell one horse, not get the offspring. And once I sell that horse, I'll have an open slot, which means if it happens instantly, the other horses, one of them can have their offspring, and then I'll sell that horse, so on and so forth. Not the offspring, but the mature one. That's worth money. Could do it that way. Because, yeah, saving myself $500 on buying a brand new horse. If I could save myself $500 per when it's available to us, I mean, overall, that'd be $8 grand for, 16 horses. At 500 piece, that's $8 grand. So that's what you would like to do. I will say, for a meadow grass field, this did kick out a lot of bales. Now, the funny thing is, in a way, even though I think this meadow grass produced quite a bit, on the Shamburgo series, if you have started watching that, gotta be careful what I say because tomorrow's episode's not out yet, but yeah, I'm having a little problem with the sheep and goats on that one with meadow grass, where the meadow grass is not providing enough feed for the sheep and goats in their pasture. Unlike Penye, in that series where I had the goat pen, I put the goat pen down in a technically grass field, and that was way more than enough. So that's what I'm going to be attempting to do on Shamburgo. But it does seem like this meadow grass here produced quite a bit. Alright, just a couple more bales and we'll lease a See and Spot weed sprayer. We'll get the cheapest one. I'll probably keep it overnight just to be sure that the poppy field doesn't have weeds growing in it. Alright, fold that on up. And I guess I'll just park this in front of the mowers, because that makes perfect sense to me, I think. Alright, so into the store actually is what's for sale. Soil sampler and some rollers. I don't care about the rollers too much. Alright, so we got to come down to sprayers, and of course we're getting this one because it's the cheapest one. See and Spot weed spraying, yes. Lease it. Alright, go down to the store, pick it up. We already got some herbicide in the IBC over on the other side. I hope that's enough. So the field to our left, that's not going to have any weeds in it because that was a cornfield, and of course I plowed it, so no weeds for this year. At least there's no fog going over the bridge. Hello TK Collins, hope you're having a good Tuesday. Thanks for dropping on in. Again, if you see, because I haven't been down to the stores yet, if you start to see some stuttering or whatever, it's just the game updated today and it's the shaders loading in. So I'm getting just a little bit of stuttering as I get down here. And not quite close enough. So if we skip over here, because last stream, in case you missed it, we did buy a small plot of land. And we did plant, I can see my pallet. We did plant some oak trees. I don't remember, like 25 oak trees I think we planted. So eventually, of course, they'll be cut and put into a sawmill. Not sure exactly what sawmill I'm going to be using as of yet. Now, the ones I used on Dark Forest are... I mean, the sawmill in Dark Forest, that's my best bet. Only because of the way the trigger is for receiving the trees. I can cut down an oak tree and just drag it in and it'll take it. A lot of the other sawmills, cutting down oak tree and not delimbing it, the oak tree will not really fit into the sawmill. So, but I got about a year and a half in game wise to figure out what to do as for a sawmill. Hello, Farmer G. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. I did see an interesting mod that came out. Mods did drop on the mod hub about maybe a half hour ago or so. And I saw an interesting mod I thought would be perfect for this series. But now I'm not too sure. I'll have to do some testing on it. Omatana came out with a hotel. That's also a sell point. Now, I don't care too much about it being a sell point. But it was a hotel where you could earn some money off of it. Now, I could edit the XML file, but the totals I saw for earning money off of it were rather extreme. I want to say it was like 100,000. And I was like, is that 100,000 a night? And it could even be more than that as well. So I was like, well, I don't want to be earning $100,000 a night from a hotel. I mean, it'd be great, but then that's just earning way too much cash. Hello, Steve and Farmer. Welcome. Hope you guys are having a good Tuesday. Started this map a couple days ago. Fantastic map. I'm enjoying it so far. Again, I will keep this sprayer overnight because the poppy field is not showing where it's growing weeds. So yeah, I'm not too sure. In that field I did not plow. I'm just guessing that the poppy is kind of considered like a grass type crop, and grass does not get weeds. So, but we'll keep the sprayer overnight. I'll have to pay for the sprayer overnight, that's fine, but I'd rather be sure that we got no weeds than return the sprayer than go, well darn, we actually ended up getting weeds anyways. So again, a see and spot weed sprayer will just spray where the weeds are. Eventually we'll have one of these on the farm, but money-wise, as you can see, I only got 21,000, and that 21,000 is going to go bye-bye when I sleep through the night because of our loan payment and, of course, property maintenance fees, production fees, all that kind of stuff. Hello, West Virginia. Welcome. I kind of wanted to get back into Saloon Simulator again today, but the way my schedule is going to be for the week, I was like, well, if I did Saloon Simulator again today, I probably wouldn't really get to do Farming Sim live stream at all this week. So yeah, again, earlier I was just talking about the videos that came out, the Giants release from FarmCon, about the new DLC that, of course, will be coming out later this year. I don't know. Probably the only thing... I don't know what I'm going to be really interested in on that now. I mean, the onions are a good touch. That's fine, but I'm not too... I've done onions before. As a mod, of course. The fish production is going to be good for that map. I just see it... If you're playing on certain maps... like I said, this map here, I don't know. I guess because I do have the mod that will allow me to put water in it, like we did for the horse stable. I guess I could create my own lake on the map to put the mod down. That's the only downside of it is now we got to create, we're trying to farm when we want land. And now to use that production to its full potential, you need a good sized body of water to use that mod, because you need a boat. I mean, I suppose you could find your own way to make that work. But yeah, you'll need a boat to get the crates from the boat into the trigger. And looking at the trigger for the large fish production on the lake, I don't think you could cheese your way on getting the pallets on there. Maybe the universal autoloader, if you were to unload it, maybe the pallets will spawn far enough over the rails to where it would go into the trigger. Of course, I don't want to forget about the JCBs. The JCBs will be part of the DLC coming out in November. All right, we are just about done spraying for weeds in our cornfield. So even like that fish production that's coming out, I just don't see how that would even work on a map like Riverbend Springs, which, turned out to be one of my favorite maps that Giants has ever put out, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't see where that would be usable there. I don't think the river is big enough for that production, because not only is the river kind of narrow, it's got the barges that go up and down. So I'm not too sure if that production would even fit. Alright, so did I get all the weeds in the cornfield? We'll turn off rolling. Yep, all the weeds are gone. Weed be gone. Okay, so I don't think I have anything left to do here in the month of June. Although I will make sure the greenhouses have water. That's very important, because that's the only source of income that we currently have monthly. So we'll just run through here, grab our Ford. That's why you have no intention on playing Elm Creek. Riverbend is 10 times better. When FS22 came out, of course, I was excited to get into Farming Simulator 22 and everything I had to, what it was coming out with and all that. Ooh, I got no water in here whatsoever. But yeah, that first month of Farming Simulator 22, playing on Elm Creek. Luckily, Alien Jim got out No Man's Land rather quickly, and I left Elm Creek rather quick. I don't know, Elm Creek, I just could not... I don't know what it was about Elm Creek, I just did not like it at all. I think it felt just too open or something like that, I don't know. So from what I understand, from what a few people told me, we got about another year before our first 8 horses reach their full potential and value. And I'm thinking the horses might be worth $15,000 by the time they reach the full value, which is not bad. I was actually getting water splashing up there. So am I actually in the water here? Oh, we are. Would I rate this map pretty high? I mean, I would, but again, it's a type of map I'd like to play on. A lot of people don't like these type of maps because there's nothing set up for you. But I do like to kind of create my own farmyard quite often. And that's why on Shamburgo, another series I just started a week ago, on that one there, I did something I don't usually do, and that's just leave the map as is and start with everything that the modder left it to be. I started with all the equipment that was there, although it didn't take me long to start swapping things out. But usually when I start on a map for a live stream or a series, I will go log in. I'll either find my own starting spot, or if I do like the starting spot the farm's on, I will buy the land, sell everything that's on it, resell the land back, and that way when I start the series, I'm starting with 0 money and no equipment, and we buy the land and work our way up. But a map like this, with nothing really on it, that was pretty much all done for me anyways. I like bare maps. I mean, Dark Forest was pretty much a bare map, other than the trees, but that challenge there is cut down trees, make farming fields. I know there's still some people out there, you know, saying, oh, Alien Jim needs to come back to create No Man's Land. Yeah, No Man's Land is a great map in my opinion, of course, but you got, is it New Frontier? I think New Frontier is pretty much like a barren. There's a lot of maps out there that are like this. I think Omatana even has one, but that's more of a, I think her map is like completely a flat map. Might be wrong on that. Someone has a complete flat map that's kind of like a No Man's Land type map. So yes, we do have 3 greenhouses. Well, we actually got 4. But we got 3 greenhouses producing just plain lettuce, because that's how much I need to be making per month to keep up financially of what we're trying to do here. Hello, Panther Killer. I'm going to go back down and get some water because we just used about 170,000 liters of water. No Man's Land's in for testing according to the forums. I would not hold your breath on that. If it is in for testing, it may not be from Alien Jim. And the reason why, there's a couple reasons I'll put that out there, is last time I talked to Alien Jim, he's not too interested in doing anything for Farming Simulator 25. but that was a few months ago. Uh, Another reason is Alien Jim is not one for bringing out a map on 3 different versions of Farming Simulator. So usually he'll create a map. It'll come out and say it's a brand new map. Then he'll bring back the map again in the next series. He won't usually bring it back for a 3rd series. That's why things like Mercury Farms never went. It went 17 to 19, and it didn't make it to 22. No Man's Land came out in 19, came out in 22, so I wouldn't expect it in 25. What was the other? It's not Spectacle Island, is it? Spectacle Island was 17 and 19. I don't know, but last time I talked to Alien Jim, he was too much into... He was really heavily into playing another game, Rust. And running his server on Rust and modding things for Rust. But I mean, of course, I don't know what exactly is going on. I mean, No Man's Land could be in testing, but I find that a little doubtful. Alright, so our 3 greenhouses are full of water. The other greenhouse is kind of just making carrots and parsnips for the horses. And sometimes we sell some other crop. I may be growing something else in there currently too. Oh, sunflowers. I think I actually got sunflowers growing in there. So the other thing, I just want to check on the greenhouses and make sure they got the manure that they need as well. Actually, I'm going to put this one right over here. And we'll detach from it. That way we'll just keep on loading the water into that one as it needs it. Now let me just be sure. Wait, what the heck is... Why is it showing me that this needs plowing all of a sudden? I have not created any field there whatsoever. So Precision Farming did have an update today. And I'm not sure why that's coming up like that. Have no idea. Is that affecting my score? No, 99, 98. Okay, this is showing as 60, but I'm not sure why. My overall score is 98, so that's fine. Yeah, so I'm not sure why that's showing up like that. Oh yeah, greenhouses. I was checking on the greenhouses. We've gone through all of the corn, so we got dry corn there. Plenty of water, manure. That one's getting a little low on the manure, but that should be fine for another month. And that one's okay for another month. So I think we're all set. Yeah, so if I run over here, you can see I don't even have any, in the bottom right hand corner, I don't have any field info. But it's telling me it needs to be plowed. I mean, alright. And of course this field, yeah, doesn't need plowing or whatever. Not sure. I'm not sure what's going on there. Well, let's go to bed. In our lovely little hobo hut. Does this door open here? Oh, that does open. Oh, hello. Well, we'll keep that door closed. Let's go ahead and go to bed. And, oh, wait. Let me just double check on the horses, because I haven't checked on it since last stream. Just got to remind myself where they're at. Hay, root crop, oats. Yeah, they're doing okay. They're doing fine. I got a lot of food in storage for them, so don't worry. It's not like, oh, you're getting kind of low. You should make some of that stuff. We got plenty of hay. We got plenty of root crop. Oh, hail. I did not need hail. And I do got plenty of oats as well. And yes, there goes all of my money. Lovely. So did we get weeds in this field? So this is the first time I planted poppy. And yeah, we do got weeds. Funny didn't say weeds were growing, so I'm glad I kept the sprayer. So we'll get to that. So that's what the poppy looks like in the first growth stage. That is definitely interesting. That looks like nothing else that was in the base game. So it'll be interesting to see what that looks like here in the near future. Alright, so we'll spray the weeds in that field. And yeah, the rye, we'll have a look at the rye here. Well, the rye looks fine, I guess. And the corn. We've all seen corn at this point. I don't know, maybe there's someone new here. They've never seen the corn before, but yeah, we got corn. All right, let's go take care of the weeds here. Interesting that it did not say weeds were growing in the poppy field. So as for July, I pretty much got nothing to do other than take care of the weeds. Let me look at the sale page just to see what's there. Oh yeah, this is also, I can't believe that's in the sale page. So in the update today, they did add some vehicles to it, and this is one of them. The JCB telehandler is a new vehicle that was added to the base game today. I can't believe that's already for sale on day one. So that's kind of interesting. What kind of, what's the weight of that? 8 tons, so it's not really a heavy telehandler. I got a telehandler, but I'm just looking at it for future reference. 145 horse. So it must go for like 120,000. I think it's like 45% off. Oh, 50. So it's like $130,000. Sorry, $140,000 for that telehandler. Yeah, so I think they added 5 new pieces of machinery to the base game. I might as well set the cruise control on for this. This is going to take a little bit. I mean, this is a decent size sprayer, but this is a pretty darn big field that we need to take care of. I'm trying to think what this crop looks like, but even that from an aerial view, it doesn't remind me of any crop in the base game. I can't wait to see when this crop flowers, because it should be pretty red over here. It should be a pretty red as well, but it should be very red over here, I would think. So as for the money that we currently don't have, but the money I'm kind of trying to save up for, more land, but more than likely it's going to be a sawmill of some sort. And I may have to start off with the sawmills that I use like on Dark Forest. One, they are cheap, so that's always a good thing. 2, I'll be able to drag the oak trees right into the trigger point for them to be accepted. So it makes it easier getting oak trees in. Just the only downside of it is the spawn point for the pallets. It basically only can spawn 2 pallets at a time. And sometimes the long planks or the wood beams, because they are longer pallets, only spawn 1 item at a time. So I mean, I suppose I could just put those on direct selling at the beginning. Because what I want to do here on New Hope, if you have not been around watching the series as we move along here, is I want to make a community. So what we're going to do is once the farm has plenty of money rolling on in, we are going to put down constructible farmhouses and supply the material and build houses and kind of make like a community somewhere. So we'll have a whole bunch of farmhouses with like driveways, even mailboxes, because we are going to deliver the mail. Yes, that is a mod where you can produce mail and then deliver it. So we'll be the local postmaster, if you will, for New Hope. But that'll be at a point of once the farm starts earning more money than I know what to do with. So that's why I kind of planted the oak. Well, I planted the oak trees a little bit sooner than I originally wanted, because I was thinking, I need a little bit more ways to make a little bit more cash around here. I'm not putting down a whole bunch of production buildings. So basically all the crop we pretty much harvest, I'm just selling directly. I'm not putting down a grain mill to make flour, to make bread, so we can make, more profit from our crops. About the only thing we are doing is we put down the corn dryer, and that's about it. So it's pretty much just harvest the crop, store it. When's the best time to sell it? Sell it. We're not. I'm going to try not to have 20 production buildings running on here. And this field's going to take a moment. I remember on day one, because this field here is the original field that's on the map. I didn't make this field. The other two fields I did, but this field was already here. There's actually 3 fields on the map if you were to start from scratch, and this is one of them. And on day one, as I was spending the money of our original $3 million loan I took out, I think, in the sale page was the John Deere 9X combine, and I purchased it because it was a little bit more than half off. I don't remember who made the comment, but someone said, "Why are you buying a big combine for one field?" This was the only field that we have, but this field is actually pretty decent sized. But I mean, of course, buying that John Deere combine is like, well, yeah, right now I only have one field, but in the future we'll have many, many more. Well, we've almost completed the first trip around the field. But of course the trips will get faster and faster as we go around, because the radius will be smaller and smaller. Well, it can be a little bit hard to see where you have and have not been, unless you get this angle just right, and then it makes it real easy to see where you've been. I think the deer are eating the poppy. Get out of my crop. I'm surprised no one has come out with a mod. Actually, now I think about it, I've seen it somewhere. Was it this game, or was it another? Might have been a different game, different farming game I played. But like a scarecrow mod, it keeps like animals away so they don't eat your crop. Basically, what it could do, it could give you like a percentage increase on yield, kind of like the bees do with certain crops. Was that Farmer's Dynasty? Maybe that was Farmer's Dynasty, where if you put a scarecrow in the field, it increased the yield. Do you know how often periodic plowing happens? From what the game says, I think it says every 3 harvests, but that never seems to work. So basically, the only time I see where you got to plow the field is like if you plant a root crop or corn. What would be the other one? So any type of root crop you'd have to plow after harvesting or corn. I think it says, let me turn this off here. That's in settings, right? So yeah, whether or not you need to plow your fields periodically to keep yield high. So I think before it used to say plow the field every three harvests, but that never was true from what I saw in 22, 19, 17, all the way back when plowing was the thing. But now it's pretty much down to it's got to be like a root crop, corn, sugar cane, those type of crops. I always got plowing turned on, and it's not, if you just keep planting like wheat or barley, you'll never have to plow the field, basically. Hello, FS Farms. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. Just subscribe and like. Well, glad you're enjoying what we're doing here. And welcome. Appreciate you being here. Now, of course, we do have lettuce from our greenhouses, but I'm not going to sell the lettuce unless I need the money to hire a worker or something, just because we are in July, which is probably the worst time to sell lettuce. So we'll try to hang on to it as long as we can. So I am using the enhanced loan system, so that's where all of our money went overnight. We started out with a $3 million loan because we didn't own nothing, so we had to buy land and, of course, get the farm up and going. So with the enhanced loan system, at midnight, not only does it take the money for the interest on the loan, but you also pay back on the loan itself. It takes money out on the principal, just like real-life loans do. So that's why we're paying roughly about $20,000 a night. I think I took the loan out for 5 years, but hopefully... Was it 5 years or was it 20? No, it has to be 20 years I took the loan out for. It's not going to take me 20 years to pay it back, but if I'm here for 20 years, then I did something wrong. Well, if it takes me 20 years to pay back the loan, I did something wrong. I could be here 20 years. Because really the first 3 years have flown by because I'm not, we're doing a lot of months we don't have nothing to do, so we're just skipping months at a time. Because, after I take care of the weeds in this poppy field, well, all the fields would be taken care of, and that just means we got to get to harvest season. And rye should be the first one. And I thought it was going to be next month, but I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it's going to be next month. Looking forward to see how this poppy looks. Poppy is a fast-growing crop, and we just planted it in June. I think it'll be harvestable in September. I'm not sure if the pace will change dramatically once I start building houses, because really I'm actually losing money in a way by building houses, because I don't earn money by delivering the product to build those houses. The sawmill does produce stuff. I'll grab what the houses need and deliver it. I mean, it'll take me a little bit more time every month to deliver the products needed. And we'll see if I'll do it with an autoloader or if I'll do it with a telehandler loading up products. But once I get the houses built and we start delivering the mail... Now, again, from what I saw, the post office production, it's going to earn us some money, but it's not going to be tons of money. But at least it'll offset a little bit of building the houses. But it's more fun of just role-playing of building a community on a map. Which is what I did on No Man's Land in FS22. We kind of took the map and built a community. Alright, so I think maybe 2 more passes, possibly 3 in this little section, and the weeds should all be dead. Alright, maybe 4. I can see the other side there. It might be 4 passes, but they're short passes. Hello, Miles. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. Just thinking back to yesterday on Saloon Simulator, I did enjoy the game. I will get back into it, for those wondering. Although it can get rather busy at the bar, so I'm hoping in the future I might be able to get some hired help in there. But I'm interested to see where that storyline goes. And that's kind of the cool thing about that game, in my opinion, is not just a simulator, but also there's a storyline happening as well. All right, maybe one more pass might get the rest after this. I'll have a look at the price of lettuce, but I'm pretty sure being July it's going to be terrible. Yep, we can get this in this pass here. Then we'll return this. After I unload my herbicide. All right, there we go. All right, let's return the sprayer. And I'll leave the Deutz right here, right next to the hut. Since we don't have a car, the Deutz is pretty much our car that we drive around in. Stock market page. So if I sold lettuce today, I would get $36,000. And at the peak time, I would actually get 40. So it's not that, 4,000 less. I mean, it's still 4,000. So yeah, we just don't want to be doing that. And yeah, you can see here, none of the prices are in the green. So that means don't be selling anything. As for what's going on here, still got some room for some more sunflowers. Again, this small greenhouse here, this was just for growing carrots or parsnips to feed the horses. But now I'm kind of using it to grow some other stuff to possibly sell at some point. That's looking good. That's looking good. That's looking good. All right, so all that's looking good. The horses, let's go give them some hay. And, ooh, yeah, probably should give them some of that root crop. Hello, Branding. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Tuesday so far. I think today I'm going to try to grab 3 bales. I don't expect it to go too well, though. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Don't tip over. Come on, these are bale spikes. I should have just slid on in there nice and easy. Gonna put them down. That way it's a little bit more stable. Now I'm just trying to get as square as I can because going into the horse stable with these bales. It's a little snug getting into here with the hay bales. Yeah, I updated precision farming. Oops. I think I hit the trash can. Alright, we got through there, and this is where the hay bales can go. First one's gone, second one's gone. Now I just got to take it off the spikes. And the third one's gone. Alright, so they're fine on that. Now let's grab the Ford, our trailer, and just grab a little bit of carrots. So these hay bales that we have here made that day 1, the stacks of hay bales, and that's what we still got left. Let's go grab these carrots up at the greenhouse. And let's see, carrots. Oh, there they are. So root crop for horses is only 5% of their feed, so I don't need a whole lot. I could have grabbed all those carrots in that greenhouse and put them all into the feed trough, but then that would take up more space and it'll leave less space for the oats and hay. Alright, so now looking at the horses, root crop. Yeah, that's looking fine. So you can kind of see base food is like 2/3. Hay is almost like 1/3, and root crop is barely there. So these 3 bars you want to see kind of like the way they are now. And overall, the feed trough holds, I think, 80,000 liters, so we're doing pretty good. The horses are now worth up to 11,000. And even the young ones that we just got a little while ago, they're up to 5,000, so that's pretty good. Wait. Yeah, I'll park this here. I was thinking about not blocking in my bale trailer for the silage bales, but I think we'll be doing harvesting by September, so the grain trailer will be moved anyways. Alright, so the horses are taken care of, our fields are taken care of. I was thinking about dropping on down and checking on the oak trees, but we'll wait. No need to rush down there. They're not going anywhere. Yeah, we're all set. Let's go to bed. So I'm probably going to be like $22,000 in debt by the time we wake up in the morning. Got yourself a PS5 Slim, did you? That's a nice little treat. I want to see what the poppy, how is that looking? Alright, so the poppy hasn't done a whole lot. When is the poppy? Alright, so I got, maybe next month they'll be flowering. The rye will be another month. What does the rye look like now? I've done rye before, but not in FS25. So that's what the rye looks like currently. The corn we have seen. Horses don't need to check on. Just going to check on the greenhouses, make sure they got water, manure. Water, manure. That's fine for another month at least, still. So, yeah, we're done with the month of August, just like that. Nothing to see here. Hello, Lisa. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. So, the silage bales will be ready this month. We should be harvesting a crop in September. We're going to be pretty close to, what, $45,000 in debt? 47. Ah, there we go. Now the poppy has flowered. Wow. That's, Now I'm starting to think about it. I don't know if I've ever done poppy before, because I think I ought to remember something like this. Let's go ahead and, wish the sun was kind of out. Even my eyes are... Look at the eyes of my farmer. He's like, are you seeing this poppy behind me? That is definitely an interesting looking crop. Actually, let's go in flight mode. It's like a sea of red. But I'm liking it because it's just different. We don't have poppy in the base game. That's a modded crop for the map. That's a lot of debt. Nah, it's not. It's fine. Here's the rye. So the rye is not ready for harvest today. So I must have planted rye in the second month. Hello, Anita. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. And, of course, the corn. Corn will be ready. So October is going to be a busy month. I think your farmer is looking at other options for that crop. he might be. That was going to be like 90 some odd percent, 96%. Yeah. So the greenhouses, I probably should go ahead and take care of the greenhouses with water. Manure, it's in the red, but it's only using about 1,000 liters of manure per month. So we're fine. But let's go ahead and just top off the greenhouses with water. Because October is going to be busy. All right, check the sale page. I know you may say, check the sale page. You're at negative 47,000. Yeah, we got money. The Novag is on sale. 55%. That is a direct drill. I mean, that's the biggest direct drill for the base game. But man, I just don't like that drill. Also, it's only 7 miles an hour speed. Well, if there was a production building for opium, it's a possibility. And that's got water. Now, don't worry about the negative 47,000. I can see how much we got in lettuce here in just a moment. But I'm just trying to keep the lettuce as long as I can. The price on lettuce should be going back up. But yeah, lettuce. So if I sold that lettuce today, I got $100,000 worth of lettuce. $9.47. It says the price is still dropping. I thought lettuce would be going up at this point. Is lettuce... No, that's a production. So lettuce is going to be down here. Actually, October is the worst time to sell it. Before it skyrockets up. So it goes from $9.42 in October to $11.30 in January. Well, again, if I don't need a worker or need to buy anything, I'll just stay at negative 47,000 and let it just keep building on up, and we'll save the lettuce for a better day. Just park that in here. Well, I am getting kind of curious, so let's go down and visit field number 40, and we'll see, did the oak trees get to the first growth stage? Yes, they have. Of course, we're not going to do anything with that as of yet because they got a long ways to go. When I say a long ways to go, like 2.5 years or whatever it is for oak trees to go from saplings to full grown. And the amount of wood they produce, those are fast-growing trees. So again, let's just run over here and have one last look at the poppy, because next month, it'll be interesting to see what the poppy looks like when it's ready for harvest. When will be the best time to sell poppy? February. So it's kind of like a sunflower type of crop, I guess, if they're selling in February. So, yeah, horses are fine. Greenhouses we did. Yeah, we're all set. We better be, because I just hit the snooze button. So October, yep. I think the corn will be ready, poppy will be ready, and the rye will be ready. I think they're all going to be ready. Ooh, negative 70,000. Yep, the poppy is not as red as it once was. That does look rather interesting. Is the rye... I mean, the rye should be, because I thought it was going to be ready in September. Yeah, we'll have to advance time a little bit, get the sun up before we start getting into harvest. There is the rye. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to sell stuff today because if the corn... Yeah, I'm going to need some money to lease a header for the corn. Wait, did I plant the corn and the corn's not ready? Alright, so I must have planted the corn in the second month. Well, alright. Sale page... That's not the same one that was for sale before, because that's not the same percentage off. Well, alright, and the silage bales should be ready, but those are only worth like 20 some odd grand. 20, 25, so... Yeah. So if I do need money again, but now we probably have... How much in lettuce do we have? We got $134,000 worth of lettuce. And you can see if I wait, if I sold at the best time, it's $155,000. So it's a $20,000 difference now from the price I get today to the peak price. Let's go ahead and advance time for the sun to come up. And we'll get to harvesting. So no hiring workers. Oh, no rain. No rain in the forecast. So yeah, we're fine. Yeah, on the map, New Hope, October through like March, the sun is rather low in the sky. So it's not going to get as bright as you may be used to. So I think I'm going to harvest the rye first, only because I'm trying to figure out, are we going to get straw or not? Leave the engine running. Ford doesn't have many hours on it, so it's good to let the engine just run. Speaking of run, look at me run. My farmer's in great shape. The combine is in good shape. Getting a little low on the fuel. I can fuel up at Omatana's seed hut, but I think if I'm going to fuel up, I may actually go down to the fuel station and top off that way. It's a ways to get on down there, but I don't know. It's nice to have the option to be able to fuel up at her hut, but I'm trying to be a little bit more, try to stay on the realistic side of things a little bit. I use her hut mainly for lime seed fertilizer, that kind of stuff. So we got a 16 meter wide header here. Whoops. Can we get it? There we go. And in goes the rye. Let's see. Can I do... Oh, we're going to get straw. And can I see the crop in the combine? Yes, we can. So we don't have a bug yet. So the rye is just going to go right into the silo. Sell it in the wintertime. It does seem to be yielding pretty good. Poppy, I'm almost pretty sure we're not going to get any type of straw off of that. So about half full, around half the headland. So I might get back all the way back around to the trailer. But if not, well, the Ford has wheels on it. We can move that. Or I can drive over to the trailer. Rather steep hill we got to go up here, so that's why we're losing some speed. Yeah, the crop does seem to have its own look to it. Yeah, I think this is yielding very well. Wonder how much rye sells for. Pretty sure it's not going to be 1,000 per. So we'll get this field harvested. We'll harvest the poppy field, of course. I think we'll also sell the silage bales today because the trailer is not blocked in with a grain trailer. Yeah, how much does rye sell for? 509. That is not a bad price, actually, for how much we're yielding. That's better than barley and wheat. Barley is 3.8. Wheat is 390. So rye is actually pretty good. 509. Is that like the same price as canola? No, canola is 700. Sorghum might be the same price as sorghum. 523. 509. Yeah, but the same price as sorghum. But with sorghum, you don't get straw, and we are getting straw with the rye. And the yield seems about to be pretty much in the same vicinity of one another. Seems like I'm getting about the same amount. But of course, with the straw, we earn a little bit more from that. So as we just saw our oak trees a little while ago, I planted those trees, I think, in March of this year. So we got about like another year and a half before those are really ready. Now I could just sell the oak trees as they are. In other words, bring them to a sell point and just sell the logs. Because it didn't really cost us a whole lot to plant them. And also, I'm still trying to figure out, I don't know, did I talk about it here or did I talk about that in Shamburgo? But the butcher shop for butcher production, I don't know if I want to do it here or on Shamburgo. I think it's going to fit better on Shamburgo because of the sheep and goats that we have. Here, I would need some animals to bring to the butcher shop. So, yeah, horses are not accepted at the butcher shop. Of course, right now in Shamburgo, I'm trying to make sure that I can feed the sheep and goats. That's the current problem I was having. Yeah, the rye is going to bring us in some pretty good cash. So at 500 plus per 1,000, combine holds 16,000. So every combine load is like $8,000 worth of grain. I mean, it's actually a little bit more than that, but just to give you a rough idea, we could say probably maybe 9,000, maybe even 10. Boy, the horses like that pond. I don't think it's going to show me my rye in storage because it's in a trailer. I think it's got to be in a silo. Yeah, it's got to be in the silo. Silage is selling pretty good today at 124. So that's looking good. Sunflowers, yeah, we'll be holding on to those for a while. And of course, nothing else is being sold today. I mean, maybe the lettuce. The lettuce may need to be sold here at some point. Well, it will be sold at some point. I thought it was June, July, the worst time to sell lettuce, but it's actually October, the month that we are in. At least we got really good weather for harvesting. I mean, I will need the money in November because, well, the corn. I don't have a corn header. Wait. No, I didn't buy a corn header. I think I leased it. I wonder if I got enough fuel in the combine to get these 3 harvests done this year. Alright, looks like 2 more passes and rye field will be harvested. Actually, I think this is the narrow end of the field. The other side of the field might be a little bit wider, so it might be more than another pass. But we'll see once we get all the rye into the silo. We'll check the stock market page, and we'll see when we sell the rye at the right time, the peak time, exactly how much money we got off of this field in one harvest. I think rye is a pretty good crop, and that won't even be counting our environmental score bonus when we sell it, and it's also not going to count for the straw. Straw could count for another $5,000 probably. Still a little bit shocked that they don't have different models for the horses for when they're colts and adolescents to adults, when they did it for all the other animals. Poor horses probably feel left out. I feel like rye might be a crop I grow quite often here. Because rye not. Sorry. And the poppy did look good for that 1 month that it was blooming. I wonder if I can see my oak trees from here now that they have grown. No, I think that that hill between here and there is going to block them. They would probably have to be lodgepole pine in order for me to see them from here. even at the full height. Just looking out over the horizon, that's the only trees I can see. Alright, so the trailer's full, so I might as well just bring this right over to the silo ourselves. We'll drop it on in and we'll get set for harvesting poppy. But before we get to harvesting poppy, we'll grab the doits and we'll start grabbing some silage bales and bring those down. So I'm also doing this as a test. If I start to harvest the poppy and the poppy does not show up in the combine, it could be Omatana's silo that causes the problem for the grain not to reappear. Because this is the first time I've been close to the silo since I restarted the game. So if that bug happens to show up, it might be the silo. Because her silos will grab product from other buildings and such. So it may do it from combines. And that could be glitching out the XML file on the combine to where the grain doesn't show. Alright, this is what we got the Ford for, and that's for grain transportation. Unless I'm selling grain, because top speed of 15 miles an hour. It's a long drive down to the farmer's market at 15 miles an hour. I also think it's time to put down a road that goes to the side. Silo, I don't think is going to get moved. The hobo hut, the corn dryer, the seed hut, I may eventually move those. This, again, over here is where the farmyard's going to be. Just that we don't have the money to build it. Can't even buy a pack of gum. I got negative 70,000 in the bank account. Alright, so if I go in here now, rye. $27,000 worth of rye is what we have. Selling at the best time. Thought it'd be a little bit more than that. Alright, let's go into here. Construction. Oh, painting. Oh, even though I got the free landscaping mod on, it's not going to let me... You're not going to let me paint, are you? So yes, even though I don't technically pay for landscaping, the game is seeing first that I have no money. I mean, I got money. I just got negative 70,000 of it. So... Alright, well, we'll take care of that a little bit by selling the silage bales. And again, I'm not going to be doing, you might be thinking, you got plenty of meadow grass everywhere, make a lot of silage bales. I don't want to get involved in doing too much of it. The lettuce is what's supposed to be offsetting everything. I'm just holding on to the lettuce as much as I can until I actually need the money, because the price of lettuce right now is not great. But if I sold the lettuce along with these silage bales, we're talking, let's see, lettuce, I got $140,000 of lettuce, 160, so I could get my bank account up to about 90,000, probably even $100,000 in the bank account right now if I wanted to. just by selling those two products alone. All right, white marshmallows. Again, I do have the universal autoloading mod installed. I even got a trailer that could pick up these bales, but since we're not doing that many, the auto stacker here works just fine. And yeah, the rest should fit on here. I think if it's the same as it was last time, although this time I did put silage additive into the baler. But I think last time... Oh, wait, I don't have a full... not 14. We're not 14 yet. But I think I had a full trailer, and then I was one bale shy of having a second full trailer. Okay, now we're full. And by the way, I'll ride in cab. I do apologize to the people who like to see in cab stuff. I don't drive in cab that much. I promised once I would drive more in cab, and I gotten away from it again. But today you get a little bit of in cab. You're riding in the Deutz 8 TTV. And since I put down the road, at least now I know, because we don't get as great of a view, of course, driving in third person. At least with the road here, it's just like, just follow the road, you'll get there. I am thinking with the amount of money we're going to have after we sell the lettuce whenever we do, along with everything else that we're doing, I don't need a sawmill for another like year and a half. Maybe with the money I buy more land and get another field in. That way, of course, harvesting more crop means we earn more money. Should be able to see our oak trees now somewhere. I don't see him over there. Oh, no, never mind, I do. I do. I see them. Now, let me make sure I'm in the trigger, because I don't want to unload these in the wrong spot. I was going to say I should top off with fuel. If you had the money, I could. Yeah, so there is a good $12,000, $13,000. Let's go grab the other bales. Just a reminder, we will be streaming American Truck Simulator on Thursday, the 10th. The Iowa DLC should be out. So we'll be cruising around in our Freightliner truck, delivering to the beautiful cities of Iowa. Kind of weird. I was getting a lot of fog down here at the river for like a year, and now throughout this summertime, so far no fog. Maybe it's just the winter months. Alright, let's pick up the rest of these bales. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do another cut. Maybe I will cut it next month? Or is meadow grass considered a dead crop in November? Didn't take me that long to cut this grass and wrap it. We will be doing more silage in the future on this map, but it won't be grass silage. We'll do maize silage. Because I haven't done maize silage yet in 25. Of course, that means I'll require a forage harvester, silo bunker, so it seems like I actually got less meadow grass than before. I had 13 bales last time. This time I only got 11. And I even used silage additive. Oh. I did add in this greenhouse here. So I was cutting the meadow grass up to here before. That could be where the extra bales may have disappeared to. Because that's a decent amount of area. Now, how often have you watched a farming simulator game where the person had over negative 50,000 in their bank account? It's the kind of entertainment I provide. I think the most I've ever been in the negative in Farming Simulator, I think goes back to FS19 on the Pacific Northwest, where I think at one point it was like at negative 150, 170, somewhere in there. That was on that $55 million debt challenge. Interest per month on that series was like $170,000 to start with. So if you're wondering, a $55 million loan, how much interest? $170 per month or per day, because back then it was by the day. Somewhere right about there. All right, now it's this negative 46,621. I mean, we were near negative 70, so that's... But again, as I said, we got the money sitting around. I just don't want to sell it at this time. And if the game allows me to continue with negative money in the bank account, I shall. I just can't hire a worker or buy fuel, stuff like that. Hello, Crow Daddy. How do you get 56,000 behind? Well, I was 70,000 behind. You just don't pay your bills. Well, the thing is, I am paying bills. I'm just not selling anything. If I were to sell my lettuce right now, again, because I realize you're probably just showing up. If I sold my lettuce right now, I would probably be up to 100 grand. In the positive, not the negative, of course. But I'd be up to 100 grand. But the lettuce price right now is at its worst. So, gonna hang on to it until the price goes back up. Actually, let me park this right here because I gotta bale up that straw. But let's get over to harvesting the poppy. That's a kind of interesting looking texture. Was that all just interest on loan? No, I got the enhanced loan system. So I'm not just paying back interest every midnight. I'm also paying back on the principal of the loan. So, I mean, yeah, I'm paying like 20 grand a night back to the bank, along with production building costs and all that. So, just a little while ago, we unloaded the rye from the combine into the silo. And it might have been Branding, because Branding is here. He'll let me know. I think Branding is the one that said it has... He read somewhere that has something to do with Omatana silo. And I might concur with that at this point, because we unloaded the rye into the silo, and now we cannot see the poppy inside of the combine. It's in there, don't worry about it. Just visually we can't see it. So yeah, it might be Omatana silo that causes that glitch, and that's why I remember way back when I was on Riverbend Springs, we ran into this, and Giants said they were aware of it because they were getting a lot of reports on it. But no one ever said it has something to do with Omatana's silo. I think it was Branding that mentioned it last week. I thought it was anyways. That it could be something to do with that. And yeah, it might do... That might be what's doing it. If you want to fix it, the only fix I'm aware of is save the game, go back to the main menu, reload the game, and it should be fine. But if you get close to her silo, that would be what's causing it, I think. The only thing that gets me is usually when I'm harvesting, I don't really pay attention to the bottom right-hand corner to see how full we are. I just kind of visually look at the combine and go, oh, it's almost full. When you can't see the crop actually in there, we'll have to keep a close eye on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Yeah, you did tell me branding. I just never put 2 and 2 together. Because adding is rough. So is it just unloading in the unloading the combine into her silo, or just getting close enough to where the silo is trying to grab the crop out of it? It's just the combines that it happens to. It appears to be with her silos. So I'm going to do another test here. But yeah, you can keep an eye on how full you are in the bottom right hand corner. You can see the combine is 99% full. It does hold 16,200. So you can see right now, we don't see it in there. The combine knows it's full. But let me go ahead and save the game twice for good luck. Now, it's not just this combine. It's all combines, but it's not a problem with Giants. It might be her modded silo. So when I reload back into the game, the crop is going to be there. This time, I'm not going to unload the crop from the combine into the silo, but I'm going to get close enough to where the silo should be in range. Let's get back into the combine, and yep, see, now the crop is there. I mean, it was there, we just didn't visually see it. It's kind of a weird bug, honestly. So I'm not going to unload directly into the silo. No, it has nothing to do with the farm. I've been on many farms, and this has happened. Whoops. This has happened quite often. So, yeah, I'm not going to unload into the silo. I'm just close enough within range of the silo. I will say though, poppy harvested looks kind of plain, if you will. Jump. That's what the poppy looks like harvested. Or if you go inside of it, it looks nice and clean. But yeah, that's what it looks like harvested. Alright, so I was in range of the silo. So we'll see if it's within range, or is it just when you unload it directly into the silo. Because that way, once I figure out, now I kind of know what what causes it, I can avoid it. Again, it's not that big of a deal. And I'm guessing it might be only the... so she does have different type of silos in that pack. But I'm guessing it's going to be... Let's go down to her silos. So we got this one right here. I'm guessing if you use this one where it says no share silo, that probably wouldn't do it. I mean, that would fix the problem of the grain, I guess. But since I got the share silo, it's doing something with the XML files on combines, which is kind of weird. Gotta wait until we get enough crop to see if it actually starts showing up. Looks like it is showing up. Yeah, I can see it starting to fill up. So I'm gonna test it again. Next time the combine's full and we're over here, I will just unload directly into the silo and see if it comes back to where we can't see the crop inside of the combine. I didn't think that was something I was doing quite often before, which is unloading directly from the combine into the her silo. But I guess I've done it more than enough to know about the problem. But either way, we're harvesting poppy. And if you're just tuning in, you missed the month where the flowers were in bloom. And boy, did it look like a Red Sea over here. And by the way, no straw, of course. You have the same issue on your auger wagons, and I don't have those silos. On an auger wagon. Okay, I'm just trying to... I would assume base game auger wagon or use a modded one. And are you using a modded silo? Because if it's another modded silo that's doing the same thing as hers does, then that could be... Because an auger wagon is basically a... maybe not. I don't know, I may be overthinking this at this point. Alright, so this time, I'm gonna load directly into the silo. And we'll see if that triggers the crop not being visible again. I did it quite a bit on the French farm. On fresh stocks? Or on Peignay? Yeah, so we just gotta wait a second. Although I think I see the crop in the combine starting to build up. Well, I don't know, the crop is showing back up in the combine, so The one where I did lots of grapes. Well, I haven't done grapes in FS25, so that goes back to FS22. On Hills of Tuscany. I don't think that was a... That was a while ago. Well, I don't know. I unloaded directly into her silo that time, and I don't know. Crop is showing inside the combine, so I'm not sure. I don't know. But it's fun to test as we go along. So, I mean, if it is a silo causing the problem, it doesn't do it all the time then. Oh well. So yeah, we are harvesting poppy. And we're just going to sell it in March, I think. February or March. The chaff coming out the back does look like when you harvest like sorghum or maybe even canola a little bit. Although I think canola is a little bit lighter color. It's like when you used to lose crop when you use a train. I didn't know losing crop on a train was a thing. I haven't used a train since Riverbend, I guess. Because I went from Riverbend to Fresh Stocks. Fresh Stocks didn't have a train. I went to Riverview. Don't think Riverview had a train. Went to Dark Forest. Dark Forest doesn't have a train. This map doesn't have a train. Peignay had a train, but I did not use the train on Peignay. Of course, there was a time where the trains weren't working at all. All right, let's go get our tractor. Actually, I'll unload the poppy that we do have. Might as well go over with an empty trailer. Only 2 hours on our Ford tractor, and I think an hour of that is bailing behind me when I'm mowing the grass, meadow grass. I kind of got to do some field work, but being a manual transmission, it did seem to kind of, I don't want to say struggle, but every time it turned a corner and tried to get up to the gearbox, it never got up to really top speed of what it could do. And it has 100 more horsepower, or actually 80 more horsepower than the Deutz, but the Deutz does a lot better. So there's no crops that I want to plant in the fall time, so I don't have to prep any fields. The only field I would have to prep would be the cornfield, because that will need to be plowed after we get done harvesting it in November. Contracts could be finished because not enough wheat to forfeit contract when you use the train. I don't think I've ever had a problem when the train wasn't bugged months ago. I don't think I've ever had a problem with the train losing crop or whatnot. Not saying it wasn't bugged, just trains are something haven't really used that much of. Okay, Crow Daddy, enjoy the rest of your, well, for you it's probably early morning. But sleep well, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, because I'm pretty sure it's almost Wednesday there. I will say the poppy looks pretty good when the flower is blooming on it the month before harvest. But I will say the crop, as of when you're harvesting it, does not look as good. I have no idea what poppy looks like when you harvest it, so maybe that's maybe it does look that way. Not sure I'm going to have enough fuel to get all 3 fields harvested this year, so I'll have to go down and top off with some diesel at some point. And of course, when we get done harvesting, we'll have a peek to see on our stock market page how much money we're actually going to get from this poppy when it comes time to sell it. How much is this field earning us with poppy? Does seem to fill up the combine rather quickly. I remember when I was setting up and figuring out, yeah, this is the map I'm going to do the next live stream on. And I said, okay, we're probably going to buy this field. What do I want to harvest this field with? And originally I thought, let's start small. And I was thinking about the New Holland TX32 with that 4-meter wide header. I think it only holds, what, like 6,000 liters of grain at most? It's almost like Farming Simulator's heard what I was going to do. It's like, that's not, no, don't do that. We'll give you this John Deere 9X in sale because you're going to need it for a field that size. The game was like, you want to harvest this field with a New Holland TX32? I think the longest harvest... Oh, wait. Well, I corrected myself before I started this sentence in a way. What I was going to say is the longest harvest I've ever done... Well, I guess I could say the longest harvest I've ever done in one field was before I even started making videos. Way back in FS17, I was playing on the map Rattlesnake Valley. And I don't know if anyone remembers that map, but the first field you get, if you just start off with start from scratch, well, back then they didn't have start from scratch. But if you just started the way the farm was set up for you when you logged in, you had a pretty decent field, and you had the New Holland TX32. And I was like, yep, I'm going to harvest this field with this and go from there. Because, I mean, I earned a lot of money from the crop I sold. 6 hours, 6.5 hours to harvest the first field. And I even baled it afterwards without windrowing it, which was kind of stupid because of all the 4-meter wide header. It took forever. But really the longest harvest session I ever did was on Oceanside Forest in 22. Of course, most of it was off camera. I think it took me 9 hours to harvest those 3 fields. And I did that in one go. Of course, when I made the video on it, I think you guys got the condensed version of maybe 40 minutes. But it took me 9 hours to harvest those 3 fields. And that was with 2 combines. And I'm thinking it was the 45-foot headers. Oh no, those were the honeybee headers. So those were the 60-footers. So 2 big combines. I think they were the case combines that held, I want to say 24,000 liters of crop. 60-foot headers. It took me 9 hours to harvest those 3 fields. Just to feed chickens and ducks. Seems like that fuel is dropping faster and faster. I do need a pressure washer on the farm as well. Eventually, the mod's been out for like about a week now, but there is a automated car wash system. I haven't tried it at all, but we'll give it a go here. The problem is it does cost $70,000 for the wash system. I don't know if it's big enough to take a combine. That was a mod I enjoyed back in FS15. There was a car wash back then. I think I showed it off. I can't remember if it was when FS19 came out or when FS22, just before FS22 came out. I did an episode of Bjorn Home on FS15 just to showcase, because some of you probably weren't playing back that far. I wanted to show what the game was like back when FS15 came out. And luckily the mod was still in my folder or something. And we got to see the car wash I loved back in FS15. Got expensive to wash vehicles, but back then, even back then I was playing a hard economy. Once you got the money, it wasn't too bad. But it could cost you like $400 or $500 to wash a combine. Had a nice little outside post to drop your header down. It would wash the header. Although back then, because we didn't have landscaping back then, placing mods back in FS15 and even 17 for that matter, without landscaping, you had to find a flat surface to put down those type of mods. Because there was no way to landscape back then. Like the one we drive over and all you have to do, drive over the trigger and it washes it automatically. Does it have like moving parts to it, or... I remember the mod when it came out, I just didn't look at it too much. But I mean, the car wash in FS15 that I use, it was like when you bring a car to a car wash, but made for farming equipment. It would actually drive through, it would have the brushes that would go back and forth. I'm not sure what this one will do. One day I'll find out. You know what? Here, Mazda just... I'm trying to say, where's my trailer? Will this go unload? This is backing up kind of weird. All you see is the caution lines on the ground. I'm not sure why this is unloading. Well, at least I'll have a look at it in the store. Under tools? Yeah, here it is, right here. This might just do the same thing, because I do see brushes. You can see the brushes, so I don't know if it's animated. Washes vehicles and appliances automatically and quickly. So that could be just the same system where you just drive through. I may have to try it on a test map quickly just to see what it does. If it's just a drive-through, it looks nice. But when I saw the brushes, I was like, maybe it'll automate it washing. I don't know. It may not do so. Not much left here. Kind of interested, trying to figure out. When I'm looking around the field, you might have seen the texture on the ground. Most of the field where I harvested looks kind of like a chocolate colored. I have one section of the headland where it looks like it laid down like a different kind of colored chaff, like a lighter color. I think that's when I had the bug of the crop not showing in the combine. It almost as if the way I got that bug with unloading into the silo directly, it might be because we tried it again and I didn't get the bug, but it might have something to do with changing the crop. So if I were to go unload into the silo, which I did with rye, I unloaded the rye, and then we came over to harvest the poppy, it didn't show the crop in the combine. It might have to do where I gotta change the crop as well. So not just unload into the silo, but change the crop that you're harvesting. Because it would be weird. That's roughly where I got the full combine, my first load with poppy. But the chaff color is a lighter color than what we're putting down on the rest of the field. Oh well. I guess what I can take from it is, as long as I don't unload from the combine into the silo directly, I may not have the problem. And I got plenty of room at this silo to where I don't have to worry about the trailer being an issue. So after this, we got to bale up that straw, but that shouldn't take too long. I guess I'll try using the Ford. I mean, it does fine with the grass when we're baling grass. It's not a horsepower issue, it's the tractor selecting what gear it wants issue. So we harvested about $25,000, $27,000, roughly in there, of rye. But that is like our smallest field. This is our biggest field. Again, we'll have a look when I get all the poppy into the silo, how much this will sell for. It's going to be a few trips down to the store to sell it. Yeah, so you can see as I drive closer over here, you can see the different color of chaff from the first headland to what I'm doing now. Oh, is this trailer full? I think the trailer is full. There, Einstein. You want to go unload it? So 46,000 plus we got 18,000 in the combine, plus what I put in there before. Are we going to be near like 80,000 liters of poppy? That's what we got for dry corn sitting in there. Hopefully the trailer doesn't hit the downspout of the silo. It may do. Don't think it did. Should really wait for the trailer to get all the way back down, but since it's a simulator, it's going to be just fine. A lot of poppy seed muffins. I haven't had one of those in a while, but those are good. Yeah, so for what crop I want to plant next year, again, I'm trying to rotate crops. We don't really, rotation's not really a thing in Farm Sim. Kind of hope that mod comes back out in 25. Maybe I may plant oats again, though. Just to be sure. We do got a good amount of oats in storage. I don't think the horses are going to go through what I even have. But I'll have to wait until springtime to figure out what I want to put into the ground. I may skip corn next year. Because that way I won't have to lease the corn header. Actually, I don't even own a drill on this map yet. Guess it's the problem I have. I kind of started this series almost the same time as I started Shamburgo. And I'm forgetting what what I bought for what farm. And by the way, I will have episode number 4 out tomorrow for Shamburgo. So if you haven't started watching the series, you may want to have, if you think you may have some interest. We're not far into that series. Just currently 3 episodes in. And I am loving the Shamburgo map because it's definitely learning the roads there takes a moment. Oh yeah, that's right. I was thinking, well, after I get done with the harvest, we'll drop off the header. I'll go fuel up. Not with negative $46,000, you won't. We have the money on the farm. Is just all just waiting for the opportune time to go ahead and sell that stuff. Well, so far with this combine, I've harvested 26 hectares, apparently. This field was 5.4. I think that's the way it's working. Is this field roughly 5.4 hectares? Yeah, the lot is 6.35 hectares, so that's probably correct. So I haven't done lavender. Lavender is kind of like a, I did in 22, but lavender is like a grass crop. But you only get like 1 harvest per year. And the yield was the same. In FS22, as I said, lavender is kind of like grass, but you only get 1 yield. And I got the same amount as if I were to cut the grass. Every time I cut the grass, I get a certain amount. Lavender wasn't like you get a bulk, much more yield, but that could have changed in 25. Mustard we did on Penye. We've done millet, we've done rye. I'm looking at the specialized crop on this map, and I think that is all the crops there that were added to the map. All right, we're going to go put this poppy into the silo. We'll have a look at how much this stuff is worth. That just leaves the cornfield for November. And then just zip on through the winter months and back to spring. Good night, John. Yeah, I don't think I'm streaming tomorrow, but definitely will be here Thursday for ATS for Iowa. All right, there is the poppy in. Let's have a look to see. So if I sold wow. If I sold poppy today, that would be $88,000, and the price is going up. If I wait until March, $97,000 worth of poppy. Poppy, I mean, that is a big field, so I mean, it's a big yield. So poppy almost goes for $1,000 per 1,000 liters. I think I might be planting poppy. Poppy and rye, those seem to be pretty good. The rye, where's the rye? We got 50,000 liters, and that's going to sell for about 27,000. So if you look down here, this is the time-saving stock check mod, by the way. So you can kind of see it gives you how much you have in stock. It shows the current price and the value at the current price. You can kind of come down here. So if I were to sell everything today that I have, I could get $350,000 for it. Over here, it tells you the max price you could get for the said crop. It shows you the max value that you would get for selling that much. And it also tells you what month to sell it in. You also have some color charts over here as well. So if it's basically, if the price, the current value, if it's in white, that pretty much means, you know, don't sell. It's not worth a whole lot. When it gets up to like the mustard color, yellow color, it's going to be like the price is getting, you know, starting to get okay-ish. If you see light green, it's looking pretty good. If you see dark green, sell it, basically. But yeah, lettuce, like if I sold lettuce today, I get $144,000 for it. But if I wait until February, I could get $164,000 for it. So that's why we're holding on to some stuff. This is a pretty good mod to have. Just do a quick check. And also does tell you the current best place to sell it at. Pretty much everything here is saying farmer's market currently. But I call that my stock market page. Now we're going to go grab the baler. And we're going to bale up this straw that's over here. I may just leave it on the field until December. Because that's when the straw is going to be at its best. Or if I need the cash. There's a little bit of grass in here, but they'll be fine. They'll get converted over. So yeah, going downhill, this is going to work just fine. When I turn the corner and start going uphill, it may struggle. But that was when I was trying to plant the field, and it had furrows in it from plowing, so that could have been why the Ford was having some difficulty. See what it does here. We'll just keep the throttle down and see if it starts going through the gears when I go uphill. I also probably should have changed the size of the bales again. I keep forgetting to do that. I mean, it's not doing bad going up the hill, but you think with 80 more horsepower than the Deutz, it'll perform maybe a little bit better. But that I can tolerate. what it just did there. The first bale that came out, was that a... Was that... Did it convert it... Whoops. Did it convert it over to a straw bale? Looks like it did. I didn't pay no attention to it. I mean, we didn't have that much grass in here. Find the gear there, buddy, and get up that hill. Actually, we're getting a decent amount of straw bales off of here. Might be worth about $5 grand. Time I get used to the articulated tractor itself by driving it around. I'm just about done using it. Yeah, the weight could be part of it, trying to get up the hill where it requires the more horsepower to get that much more weight. But just like, because I actually shift when I drive ATS or whatever, when you're going up a hill and you're shifting, of course, what you're doing is you're pressing in the clutch. And basically you're losing momentum because you don't have anything driving you forward. So it loses a little bit of speed as it's shifting. So it's kind of like a combination of both. It's trying to shift at the same time as it's losing speed, so that doesn't help out too much. I mean, it's performing fine doing this, but when I was doing the drilling last season, it was absolutely terrible. Have to have a double check on my straw in the shed. Do we have... I'm pretty sure I can almost picture a full stack there. It didn't look too hard, even though I was right there today, but I wasn't looking at it. I'm sure we got enough in stock where I can just sell all this. Dump those out and even empty out the one that's in the baler. Alright, because I know I don't need the baler for the corn. I will say I like the way the farm is looking, the way it's slowly coming together. Yeah, we pretty much did it all in the first stream. But I do like the way it's looking. And yeah, we got plenty of straw in here. Plenty of straw back here. Again, this shed, well, not this shed in particular, but this shed is what worked for the bales. I just needed a shed back here for the bales, and I put this shed down to put all of our equipment in because kind of ran out of money to put sheds over in our farmyard. But yeah, we got plenty of bales here, so we're going to sell the rest. Is there a crossplay modded trailer that can do methane? Not that I'm aware of. Part of the update was to the Plains and Prairie Pack. I kind of read quickly on the patch notes. But getting back to the question from the bearded dude, I don't know, you know, I play on PC, so anytime I just see a mod, I know it's something I could use. As for a methane trailer for console players, oh, never mind. I was ready to say, wait a minute, Omatana's TARDIS trailer does that, but sorry, I added that. I edited that file myself. I can't, you know, I don't have an answer for you in that one. Well, wouldn't, sorry, I'm just thinking about trailers, but that's not going to be on this map anyways. You might have to play in his map alone. I was going to say the map Riverview does methane, so he must have had a trailer that did methane. But it's probably only going to show up on his map. Cavalier Roy, I'm sure, had a trailer. Where are the flipping trailers here? So I was going to say Omatana's trailer does, but I edited her file to take methane. None of those do. I'm surprised if you're, because usually what map makers will do, if you're, did the map come with methane on it? Or are you using a modded production that is producing methane? Because usually what a map maker would do, if they add things like methane production on it, they'll edit a file to so one of the trailers will carry methane. I can't really remember on Riverview if he had a modded trailer for methane, but then again, like I said, you'd have to play on his map to get that. And that's one of the issues with console is, unlike PC, where I could take a mod, edit the XML file, and use it, and I can give that file to any other PC user so they could have it to where it's usable. But console players don't have that option. So a modded mini BGA. Methane is not worth... Well, I guess it depends on the BGA. I mean, if you're getting a lot of methane. But methane does not sell for a whole lot. But it's still pretty good. But yeah, I guess if you don't have an option, just selling it directly is about the only thing you can do. And I don't think methane price fluctuates too much. I know Mac Trucker does modded trailers, but I don't know if he has it where they take methane and if it's available for console players. Let me just have a quick look here. I thought that's... Oh. I think I spelt his name wrong. Let's see here. His mods are coming up. I'm looking for his trailers. Maybe he doesn't. His trailers aren't out yet in FS25. Yeah, I don't see where his trailers are out yet in 25. He has the animal transport trailers out, which take just about any type of animal. His flatbeds are out, but I don't see his tankers out. So, unfortunately... unfortunately I don't see... Whoops. Now I gotta get my screen all fixed here. I don't see where Mac Trucker has any options for methane currently. Oh, well, Crystal's giving a helpful hint there. I think we got about $5,000 or $6,000 worth of straw there. So that's not too bad. Again, at one point I was negative 70,000. We're down. We're down. We're up to negative 40,000. But when November comes, I'll have to sell that lettuce because I am going to need a corn header. Not going to be a full trailer of straw, but every little penny is going to count. Let's see, lizard bulk. What is it? Lizard bulk, lizards, liquid silo, liquid silo, and trailer pack. Okay, I see where it's available on all platforms. I just gotta find the trailer. Thing is, though, methane is methane a base game crop, or is that a modded thing? Been so long now, I don't know. Because the way they word it, it's hard to tell if it'll take methane or not. But to help you out, I will copy the link. And that is what she is referring to. Oops, that's what she's referring to on that mod there, so give that a try. It is for all platforms. I think that's one she's referring to. Gonna try to look it up quickly as I can, because some other people here, they want to see me farm and screw up. Alright, so another 8 bales of straw. I mean, I realize the mod author can't put down every kind of thing that the trailer can hold, because if it holds almost everything, that's a long list. So sometimes it'll say it holds all bulk items and liquids. But if it's base game stuff, I don't think methane is a base game thing. It's usually in mods where we get methane. Oh, that's the problem. I've been playing the game so long now and using mods, you kind of forget what is base game stuff and what is modded stuff and what was in previous versions of the game to the current version. So, double check on that. That's all I can say. Didn't say for the trailer, but on the slide, it shows the methane icon by the trailer. Yeah, it's just hard when they say it holds all bulk items. And I think methane for liquid is considered bulk. All right, so now we're at negative 37,000. All right, back to the farm. So for October, I think I am done with October. Also done with the baling trailer, unless I decide to cut the meadow grass. That poppy, though, that poppy, boy, I can't wait to sell that now. We're going to get a really good price on that. I was going to say, well, maybe I should put some lime down, but it just keeps coming back to, you don't have the money to buy that kind of stuff today. So we'll hold off on as long as we can. The longer I can go on the lettuce now, the better. The price should be going up. That price on the lettuce should be, well, it still says it's going down, but I think the price technically is going up. It's at $9.88. But I mean, I got 146,000. Again, if I sold the lettuce today, my bank account would say 100,000, not negative 37,000. I even got a good amount of straw left. I got $13,000 of straw, but we're keeping that. Yeah, everything else, not selling that today at all. And again, the lettuce price, this is the worst month for lettuce. Okay, maybe it was last month, but this year, now the price is going up. If I can wait another month, that price is going to be probably somewhere around getting close to like 1,000. And yeah, so just to confirm, I don't think I got myself the header last year. Whoops, wait a minute. No. So this is the one we're going to go for. We do have the John Deere, so we're not get the John Deere one. Well, that's 144,000. This is 125. 6 mile an hour, 12 meter wide. 6 mile an hour, 12 meter wide. And it weighs less, too. And yes, we can change the color to the John Deere. And even do that if I want to. I think the black looks better, or reverse the colors. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm probably not going to buy it when I sell all the lettuce anyways. But man, I do need a pressure washer. The vehicles are starting to get a little bit on the dirty side. But look at all this wonderful lettuce up here. I should have plenty of space for lettuce, right? I'm not running out of space, am I? Nah, not yet. Not yet. That's got plenty of room. And yeah, it looks like it's getting low on manure, but that can go like another 6 months. So we'll sell the manure, sell the lettuce in November, and we'll harvest the corn, and we may even cut the meadow grass if it doesn't die on me next month at all. But maybe I will sleep the time now. We'll see what November looks like. Yeah, horses are doing fine. Their prices are looking really, really good. Do I want to check the sale page? I mean, yeah. I was going to say, if something really good was on there, I could sell the lettuce just to be able to buy it. If I can save myself 50% on something and save myself hundreds of thousands of dollars, then that'd be good. Oh yeah, by the way, I did find out the hobo hut, we can just walk right on through. Anyways. Yeah, let's just go ahead and go to bed. We'll wake up at 9 because November is going to be very dark. Actually, maybe even 9:30. So now I'll probably be like $58,000 in debt. Almost 60. Yeah, the meadow grass looks like it's dead. I don't think I've ever cut meadow grass in November before, but we could cut it. What is the price of lettuce today? Yep, up to $1,034. And we got $181,000 of lettuce, so we'll be selling that. The poppy price is going up, but it's not quite there yet. So we'll just probably just sell the lettuce. And sale page... Boy, they're really trying to get rid of these. This is like the second one or the third one that I've seen. I do have the next pack activated for the series as well. I'm still not sure I want to get involved with that. It's very expensive equipment for equipment that's not even as big as some of the other stuff we're already using. Have I fed Sam lately? I mean, I have. Well, ish. I think I fed him this stream, but if not, feed him again. He's always too busy chasing squirrels and everything anyways. So the corn, yes, the corn is ready. Corn is ready for harvest. Which we pretty much knew it would be. And the oak trees are probably going to be the same as they were, but in case you weren't here earlier, our oak trees have hit the first growth stage. So we got about another year and a half before these are ready. Did I activate that sawmill? I think it's going to be the one I used on Dark Forest. If I did activate it. Actually, I did not activate it. I don't see it here. There's the butcher shop. But yeah, the sawmill for 10,000. I may put that down. That way we can just drag them on in and we'll make some product. There is a sawmill on this map. The thing is, though, I would have to drag it all the way over to here. And it is $150,000 to buy this one. And I got the same problem. The trigger for the lumber is going to be in here. I don't think I can drag an oak tree into here with the limbs all on it and everything. It does have a good spawn point, though. It won't be just one item or two. It'll be a whole list of stuff. The thing is, I do want to also try to... Because I'm trying to stay away from autoloaders as much as I can in this series. I will have to get in here with a telehandler to load up a trailer. There's actually some decent room here, honestly. I don't know. We'll see how I'm doing money-wise when it comes to it. I may just buy the one that's here on the map. And we'll drag the oak trees here. Maybe if I get like the base of the tree in the trigger, not the limbs, I bet you would accept it. As long as it's somewhat in the trigger, I think that's all I need to do. I'd rather do that, honestly. I'd rather have more spawn points than not just have two. I think I'm going to try to get that one there, so... but anyways, I think that's going to wrap it up for today. Because if I start getting involved with too much work here, it's going to push me longer than I want to go. And as I said, when I started the stream today, I was very tired when I started the stream. I've kind of woken up a little bit, but I'm still kind of... I thought I slept good last night, but man, do you ever think you slept really, really good? And then you wake up, and then you're like, boy, I slept good, but you're still tired? That's the way I felt today. I won't be streaming tomorrow. I'm going to take a day off. I think I'm going to be cutting down. I used to stream 6 days a week. At one point, I was streaming 7 days a week when FS came out. But then I went to 6 days a week. I think I'm going to cut it down to 5 days a week I'm streaming. That way I can kind of get caught up on recorded series, which I'm so far behind. But yeah, no stream tomorrow, but there will be an episode of Shamburgo that you can watch. Unless you're a channel member, then you may have already seen it. And I'll be streaming Thursday American Truck Simulator for the Iowa map that comes out. If you did post a link, you're the only one that's going to see it. Links are not accepted in chat. Only I can post links in chat. So, yeah, no stream tomorrow. I'll be streaming Thursday, ATS, Iowa map. Friday, I might be back on Saloon Simulator. See where that storyline goes. And Saturday, I'm not sure yet. It might either be Roadcraft or this. It's kind of good to have multiple games you got to get to, but the problem is a lot of you maybe only like one game or another, so it goes a long time in between streams, but I'm trying to do the best I can. But anyways, I'm going to jump out of here. Appreciate everyone being here for a little bit of farming today. And yeah, I'm not sure exactly when I'll be back on here, but next stream will be Thursday for American Truck Simulator for the Iowa map that comes out. Don't know how long the stream will be, but we're going to try to knock off as many cities as we possibly can. But I'm going to jump out of here. Appreciate everyone being here. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Have a good Wednesday. And hopefully I'll see you on Thursday. But until then, have a good one.